Thanks for tuning in for another episode with me, Upskill listeners. It's great to have you back again. I hope you're well. For any first-time listeners joining us today, a very warm welcome from me, Dave, your host. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode, so if you'd like to continue the conversation, then listen until the end, where I'll show you exactly how you can join the Upskill Podcast Learning Community on Slack. Let's get started. Hello there and welcome back to day 4. This is part 4 of my COVID pandemic work from home, future of work podcast series. And I really hope it's bringing you value. Do let me know in any way you can that you're enjoying it, that you're finding it valuable on LinkedIn. Leave a comment, share it with your staff as well. And today is Tuesday the 7th of April, but this is day 4. So this is some information that I came across, I believe it was on last Saturday, about an article that I saw on LinkedIn written by a Vietnamese professional. His name is Trân Ngọc Minh Tri. He's an operational excellence manager at Decathlon, and he wrote an article, a LinkedIn article. I will put the link somewhere where you can find it, so don't worry about that. And this article is titled 4 Human Resource Actions Companies Can Do Now to Come Back Stronger After COVID-19. So I've read through the article and I want to put my own thoughts on top of this. And I just want to say, first of all, Trân Ngọc Minh Tri, thank you very much for sharing this article with us. I think it's extremely valuable, and do connect with him on LinkedIn, because I think these are really important issues that every business should be dealing with right now, and that every person who's a professional or even starting out, you need to know about this. You do need to be aware what's going on in terms of the world of work, in terms of how companies are changing, in terms of how you look for the right opportunities in your career. Because if you are just starting out in your career, or if you've been working for 5, 10, 15 years and you're looking to change your job, you do need to be able to see where a company is at if you're looking for employment, and really to see what they're doing in terms of how they're managing their human resources, how they've restructured their enterprises, because that's going to play a huge role in offering you the opportunities that you're looking for, the job fulfillment, the job satisfaction, the benefits, the salary, all those kind of things. So it's really important that this is useful for everyone to know about. So let's dive into the article. There are 4 actions that companies need to take to come back stronger. I'm not going to cover every single point, but I do want to give my extra feelings on this, okay? Let's start off with maximizing the development of multi-skilled employees. Okay, that's point number 2. I'm jumping to point number 2. Okay, so at this time in the world, in terms of this pandemic, it's really, really essential that you keep your employees learning, and that you place a very high focus and attention on upskilling the development of your employees. Now, the problem here, the big challenge that all companies are facing around the world, is that now, as you know, we cannot go to the office to work in a physical environment. We're now working from home, and even many people, they want to work at home, but they can't due to internet problems, and they're just not set up for that, which is a big problem. Or they might have a lot of difficulties with technical skills and require an enormous amount of support, which management may or may not be able to provide at this time. They might prefer to wait it out and until things get back to relative normalcy. But nevertheless, I have been talking to companies in Vietnam recently who are taking massive action to keep business going in the right direction. How are they doing that? What they are doing is they are providing online opportunities for staff, clients, partners, customers to attend webinars, live trainings, Q&A sessions, customer experience, business development opportunities live online. So I think the most valuable step a business can take when it comes to developing employees and keeping them active and engaged and learning about what's going on is through virtual classrooms, is through virtual webinars, both for staff, for learning programs, and also for, of course, the business development side, right? That's super important, right? But we're talking about the development of employees. Now, it's really important during this time that your company offers this kind of opportunity. The enterprise needs to maintain a certain level of employee engagement and morale. Morale is extremely important during times like these. And as I've said in a previous podcast, that, this will end. The lockdown period will end, but things will never be exactly the same. This is a permanent change in which companies operate. So if your company is not doing something about it now and hopefully can survive this period, can overcome this period without your business being too badly affected, then definitely consider implementing the technology, the learning platform, the virtual way or method and approach to keep your business operating should this happen again. And it could very well happen again. So I think that's really important. So that's really what I wanted to say about maximizing the development, because obviously your staff, they're at home now. And, in many cases, they actually can't do their jobs right now. They're really stuck at home. So, right now is a good opportunity to at least think about and to, come up with and brainstorm on how you're going to develop, create, and deliver training programs, ongoing learning and development initiatives right now and in the future. Yeah, it's an opportunity, right? So talk to your HR department, talk to your learning and development team, and try to get on it. So there you go. Now, the next point that Trân Ngọc Minh mentions in his article is, let me see here. Let me go to point number 3, which is titled Saying Goodbye to Individuals Not Appropriate for the Enterprise and Corporate Culture. Now, it's a little bit harsh, I think, but I think the change that we're going through right now in the world is that people are now having the opportunity, they're now able to reflect on whether or not they enjoy working in that company or in that industry or in that role. And the company is also reevaluating, okay, who is really with us, who is really eager and keen to work with us during these hard times. So it's a very interesting time. It's kind of like a huge filter process, or I should say a filtration process, where companies from a leadership and culture point of view, but also workers from a personal reflection point, are now both thinking, is this a company I really love to work for? Is this a company that I really want to be with for the long term? And the company is also thinking about who is really sticking with us during these times. Who are the ones that see the value that we're trying to provide here? And who are the ones that, aren't really interested, or, may not have really bought into the culture of the company. But at the same time, it's really important, and this is going on to the fourth and final point, that no matter what is happening in terms of the company or the employees, it's really important that no matter what you do as a business, that you do start creating a shared vision, which is the fourth point in this article. Set a general and clear target for the team. Now, I'm not a big fan of targets because business is so fragile at the moment and forecasting is very difficult. What you need to be doing, instead of just clear targets, you need to listen to your staff. So instead of management and directors and business owners setting the culture, I think now is a really great time where managers, and team leaders, they sit down with everybody and they ask a powerful question like, how can we help you more? What do you need help with? What can we provide you right now that is going to make the difference to you? What's going to make you happy right now? What information do you need? What training do you need? How can we support you and your family better? Okay? What changes can we make to our policy, to our remote working guidelines or regulations? What can we do for you as a company, as management, to make your life happier, to make your job more fulfilling, to make your role more interesting? What can we do instead of the other approach, right? The top-down approach. I think now is the perfect time for a company that really wants to get through this time successfully. Leadership have to have these meetings, these online meetings, on a regular basis, possibly even on a daily basis with small groups of staff. Somebody needs to record it, somebody needs to take note, it needs to be fed to leadership, but leadership needs to collect this important information from the ground, from the employees that are going through a very difficult time now, who are maybe sitting at home doing nothing, stuck on YouTube and feeling terrible that they can't work. They need to reach out to those people and include them in the discussion somehow, some way. This is absolutely imperative if you as a company want to restart your culture, if you want to move into this new period after the pandemic is over with excited, motivated, engaged staff and a new culture of learning and development, and a culture that is not just about targets. It's deeper than that. It's about allowing staff to express their needs. That's the biggest problem I see here in Vietnam, is that staff are not comfortable in expressing their needs, and it's not expected either. But now is the chance for managers to use their emotional intelligence to ask powerful questions and to really empathize with the people that are actually running the business, that are actually doing the work to keep the business going. if you know what I mean, non-management roles, the people that are working with customers on a daily basis. Now is the time for managers to step up and now bring the company together and create that shared vision, to create those shared mission goals and all those kind of things. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening. I hope this was really useful to you. Please help me share it with anyone that you think can benefit from this. This was day 4, I believe. So make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Reach out to me if you need support, advice, anything I can do for you. I'm here for you. And I wish you a very good day. And I'll see you in the next episode, day 5 or part 5, very, very soon. Thanks very much. And remember, always upskill. So that's it for another episode on the Upskill podcast. I really hope it brought you a lot of value. If you'd like to get free access to resources on what we covered in this episode, ask questions, or just hang out virtually and chat with other members who share similar interests to you, then why not join the Upskill Podcast Learning Community on Slack? To join the community, go to the show notes of this episode or the caption, and you'll find an invitation to join Slack. Or send an email to daveonline at theupskillpodcast.com if you need support. I'm looking forward to welcoming you to the community and to continue the conversation. Thanks so much.